I'm Emily Yucht, and this is your BMB coronavirus report for Friday, June 5th. Today is the 58th day of school that we have missed since we began following the stay-at-home order, and yesterday was the 11th night of protests after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Today is also the St. Baldrick's Chop Your Locks for Charity event on the BMB YouTube page starting at 7 p.m. People can tune in and watch special guests from around the district brave the shave. They can participate from home by shaving where they are and sharing on Instagram, or by ordering St. Baldrick specials from participating restaurants Piccolo's, Umberto's, McBride's, and the Big Cheese food truck. In Albany yesterday, Governor Cuomo again addressed the twin crises impacting our state and our nation. The governor specifically connected how the protests could impact the spread of coronavirus and urged all protesters to get tested.
With the protesters, they could actually compound the situation. Why? You have 30,000 people who've been protesting statewide. You look at the video as well as I look at the video. Many of them wear masks, thank God. But there's no social distancing. You look at the encounters with the police are right in their face. They're right in the face of the police. 20,000 protesters in New York City, 1,000 protesters on Long Island. These are big numbers. And yes, they're young people and they're superheroes and nothing can affect me. We're going to open the testing facilities for all people who are at a protest.
The governor also announced that Long Island would enter phase 2 of reopening next Wednesday, which will allow for outdoor dining at restaurants and drive-through graduations. The state is going to continue to evaluate the easing of other restrictions regarding graduations, which may allow Bellmore-Merrick to hold outdoor graduations later this summer. Now to see what's going on in your neighborhood, here are the BMB reporters around the district.
Hi, I'm Michelle Volfman from BMB, and I'm reporting from Jeffrey Drive in North Bellmore. It is almost summer, and as we end this somewhat crazy school year, I've had the chance to look back at some memories of my freshman year at Mepham High School. I've had some great and funny moments in classes, on the volleyball court, during lunch periods, and many more. For example, I found out that at my first ever volleyball game at Mepham, I would be a starter. That moment might have topped them all, but there have been other great ones too. Another really funny memory happened at my first BMB event, the homecoming game. It was a great day as it was my first time being a part of the BMB crew. But when cleaning up, I accidentally fell off a ladder. Did it hurt? Yes. But that's one of the things that I'll remember many years from now. Although there have been great memories throughout my first year at Mepham, I will never forget the horrible pandemic known as the coronavirus that ruined our school year. Besides the obvious illness and death caused by the coronavirus, it has had other long-lasting impacts. It has ruined many things like graduation for seniors, family summer plans, and worldwide events like sports and concerts. This pandemic is obviously bad, but it has actually taught us some necessary skills during the quarantine. Believe it or not, this pandemic has also prepared myself and others for the future. For example, when we as students decide to attend college, this will have been good practice. It seems that college classes are strictly held on the computer. Distance learning is giving us a good look into our future education. I hope to have more memories and special moments in my future years at Mepham, and hopefully I won't fall off any more ladders. From Jeffrey Drive for BMB, I'm Sean McQuillan.
Hi, I'm Riley Freed, reporting for BMB from Linden Street. One thing that I am never going to forget from this school year are the bonds that I've made with my friends. Some of the friends that I've made this year are my best friends currently, and I probably am never going to forget them leading into my later years of life because of the profound impact they've had on me, even during this time when I don't get to see them every day. And I love them with my entire heart, and I'm really glad that I was able to meet a lot of them. Even if it was just this year, I feel like I've known them my entire life. And one thing that I've learned from March 13th leading up until now is that we should never take what we have for granted, because you never know when it's going to be taken away from you. Meaning, everybody used to complain about school, going to school, having the work, when in reality, once you get that taken away from you, it's harder. And it was like a reality check for everybody. It was extremely challenging to adapt. And everybody realized how lucky we are to have traditional classroom learning rather than online schooling. For BMB, I'm Riley Freed.
Michelle Volfman from BMB Broadcasting, reporting on what I'm going to remember from this year. And sad to say, I don't think I'm going to remember many things from this year because basically half the year was social distancing, which obviously is very memorable, but I think that's gonna be like the only thing that I really remember, because I guess this year was really focused around that, and and there wasn't anything else really going on except we have to social distance and stop the spread of coronavirus. This is Michelle Volfman from BMB Broadcast.
Thanks, guys! Earlier today in the morning announcements, we showed a clip of BMB's tribute to the teachers retiring this year from Mepham. Now, for the first time in its entirety, here is BMB's full tribute to our retiring teachers this year.
This year, 3 teachers at Mepham are retiring, and they can't be honored at a board meeting like normal, but they'll still be recognized here on BMB. Mr. Dirks, Ms. Ackerman, and Mr. Leacock have been important members of the Mepham community and have been friends and mentors to their fellow teachers.
All 3 of them have been friends to me and mentors to me. I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot with them. I've had a lot of fun with them, and I'm going to miss them a great deal.
Miss Ackerman was a great English teacher. I remember fondly conversations with her about students and teaching English, and she actually started a book club for the faculty this last year or so.
She's about 7 years ahead of me in parenting and in teaching. So when students were in the classroom, I watched how she engaged with them, and then when students weren't in the classroom, we got to talk about what it was like to parent.
Mr. Leacock and I, we were commuting buddies, commuting partners for a number of years. In addition to education, we have a strong love of public education. We ride motorcycles together, so we've had fun doing that.
He epitomizes what a teacher is, because not only does he teach the children and the students, I gotta be honest, he taught me, right? So he is what I would consider to be the personification of what a teacher should be, because it's not like what he does, it's kind of who he is. So it was a great experience for me. I've learned a tremendous amount.
I loved seeing Mr. Dirks' creativity with his classes, especially with his hands-on history class. He did all kinds of incredible projects with them. He had them create toys, that students used to play with in the past. They designed their own national monuments based on events in history. He had students researching songs. Once I even saw his class dancing, doing colonial dances in the foyer. So I just loved seeing the different creative projects he would do. I'd always look forward to seeing whatever the next presentation was going to be, in the hallways. So that was just a wonderful thing, and it reminded me of all the wonderful creative things that I could do.
Well, if there's one thing I think I took from him as a person, it's that if you have a strong opinion about something, or if you believe very passionately about something, it's important for you to speak up and get involved. I think I was pretty typical of my generation, Generation X, where we kind of grew up, many of us, and thought, nothing's ever going to change. What's the difference? There's this abiding cynicism. But as I got older and I watched, how involved he was with raising his voice and writing letters and, being involved in demonstrations, it occurred to me, maybe things won't change, but it matters very much for you to stand up and have and speak your mind for what you believe is right. And apropos current events, that conviction is something I think more Americans need.
He was so dedicated to the craft of teaching. He was also probably the most instrumental in my continuing my union work and encouraging me. He and I went to Albany together to protest the adoption of the Common Core when it first came along.
These 3 teachers have made a big impact on Mepham while they have been here. It's going to be a different place without them in the future.
It's bittersweet because our 3 retirees have earned it. They deserve a break. So we're happy for them because they've earned it and they deserve it. But it's also bittersweet because we're not getting to say goodbye to everybody at the end of the year this year, right? That goes with the seniors too. We're not getting to say goodbye to everybody in the way that we normally would like to, but we'll have to do it in the future. We're going to have everybody back, and we'll have to get together, because that's sad that we're not able to have retirement parties, graduation celebrations in the way that we have in the past.
It's tough to spend so much time with someone and then it's going to be gone.
Oh, it will be a sad place. Mr. Leacock and I have taught next to each other for the last 20 years in the computer science room and in his physics room. Mr. Dirks and I have had conversations every day for the last 20 years. And Miss Ackerman in the 15 or so that she was with us too. But I'm happy for them. This is the right, it's the right time for them. They're ready for this. But they're going to leave really big holes.
Even though their colleagues can't say goodbye to them now in person, they still have messages for their retiring teachers.
Henry, thank you so much for being a wonderful friend and colleague, and I wish you all the best in a well-deserved retirement.
Oh, Mama, I'm gonna miss you. Mwah!
I just hope he enjoys his retirement, right? And we'll see each other. No problems.
Good luck, best wishes, and I'm glad you finally have a phone and we can text.
We miss them already because we haven't been around them in the way that we would want to be, but we're happy for them. They deserve a break, and I hope that the time at home with remote learning is gotten them kind of started with their retirement life, or at least getting them more adjusted to it. So we miss them, but we're happy for them, and we hope to be able to say goodbye in the way that we want to, in the months ahead.
Oh, I just wish them the best. I can't thank them enough for helping me be the teacher that I am, and the person that I am, and the union leader that I am. I wouldn't be any of those things without my relationship with all three of them. And I just wish them happiness and joy as they embark on this next stage of their journey. I ask that they not be strangers, but I just wish them all the best because they deserve it.
Throughout their time as part of the Mepham community, these teachers have been important role models to their students and fellow teachers. We all wish them the best in the next part of their lives. From BMB, I'm Hannah Broxmeyer.
Congratulations to Miss Ackerman, Mr. Dirks, and Mr. Leacock. We'll miss you all and enjoy the next chapter in your life, one that hopefully doesn't include homework. So that will do it for another episode of the BMB Daily Report. Be sure to tune in tonight at 7 p.m. for St. Baldrick's. To the members of our community and our family who are struggling today, know that you are not alone. From BMB, I'm Emily Yucht.